What are the best seinen manga to collect? Stuff that everybody should have in their manga collection? That is what we're going to look at today. What is up, guys? It is Weebra, and today we are gonna do a top 10 seinen manga to collect video. Now, I have already made one of these in the past called top 10 shonen manga to collect. Go ahead and check that out if you want to see what are my thoughts on what you, an English collector, should be looking into when considering a specific demographic, whether it's shonen, seinen, whatever. In this case, we're going to be doing seinen. These are not going to be in any particular order. All of these should be readily available for you to collect. They may be out of stock at the moment with some volumes, but nonetheless, these are stuff that's currently in print. I did not include anything that's out of print. Maybe I can do something like that in the future, like top out of print manga to collect, stuff like that. But for now, we're just gonna stick to stuff that you can go out there, you can buy, and not have any trouble looking to find it. Let's just knock the big two out of the way, because these are in my top manga of all time videos, and it's just like I talk about them all the time, and it's stuff that you probably have already, heard of or have in your collection. Number 10 is Goodnight Boom. If you guys watch my videos, you know this is a very, very special manga for me. It's a coming of age story by mangaka Inio Asano, who is honestly, in my opinion, a genius. He just did an extremely super good job on this. Like, honestly, it's fantastic. It's beautifully written. As soon as you finish one volume, you just want to read the next one. It's just incredible. The art is fantastic, and the storytelling is so unique. It's so dramatic, and you're gonna love it. Honestly, this is something that I wholeheartedly recommend to anybody. All right, coming in at number 9 is one that I just want to get out of the way. It's Berserk. If you haven't heard of it already, it's potentially the best manga of all time. But yeah, this is great. Kentaro Miura just recently passed away, so he never finished it. Spoiler alert, it's an unfinished story. Nonetheless, it's one that I think everyone should have in their collection. There are the Dark Horse singles, but I say definitely get this. It's gonna last you a lot longer, trust me. The singles are great, but the paper quality is not the best. Unless you're very particular about what you collect, like you like to collect only singles, I can't really see the reason to collect it though. Anyway, that's personal opinion. I highly recommend getting the deluxe editions. These are bound in leather, and they're huge, not too uncomfortable to read. It's totally worth it. Berserk is something you want to be reading with your full attention anyways. You're probably gonna have to get a table for this and to read it comfortably, but it's worth it, trust me. Like, this is incredible. I had to read this in scans when I was younger, and I'm so blown away that I get to read it in this awesome tome, essentially this crazy grimoire looking edition. It's awesome. Anyways, go pick up volume 1 if you haven't. I think they're in stock. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember, so I'm sorry if some of these are their volume 1s are not in stock, but either way, there's no way these are not going to get restocked, honestly. Okay, so now that we got the big boys out of the way, we're going to go into our top 8, quote unquote. Once again, these are going to be in no particular order, just the way the things I organize them, but these are all fantastic. These are all stuff that I highly recommend getting. I think it's very, very unlikely that you would not like it. That's how I pick these. These are stuff that I think everybody, before we reach my number 1, quote unquote, my number 1, I'm going to do a couple of honorable mentions. I got this idea from Meet the Weave family, which you guys should go check out their channel. I love them dearly. Yeah, we're going to include some honorable mentions, stuff that I think probably is not everybody can get behind. They're kind of acquired taste, but stuff that I think if the right person found it interesting, they could read it, fall in love with it, and instantly become one of their favorite mangas. I'm going to include that right before we get to number 1, but nevertheless, let's get started on number 8. Okay, so number 8 is one that I think, I hear a lot of mixed things for them, but it's a mangaka that you gotta include in this list. There's no way I wasn't gonna include this guy in here. It is Junji Ito Uzumaki. Now, I chose Uzumaki just because I feel like, for me, who's not really into horror, is not super into gruesome, nasty stuff, this was such a great read for me. I haven't read everything by Junji Ito, but I hear from everyone this is probably some of his better works. It's more fleshed out, and I think it's one that even if you're not into horror, you could really get behind. Great introduction to Junji Ito with his amazing artwork. It's a simple concept, which I really loved. It's just about a spiral, and he really took that one simple idea and created this mysterious, creepy world. So these are the old Viz singles. They have a new hardcover one, which is fantastic. Awesome edition. super affordable most of the time. You can find great deals on it, and I mean, there's really no reason not to go get it. Anyways, that was number 8, Junji Ito. Number 7 is one that is like kind of hard to find. I believe they have omnibuses, but from what I'm aware of, they are restocking the omnibuses, and they're not too hard to find. I think I can't remember. Hopefully it's not too hard to find, because the singles are notorious for being difficult to look for, and that is Gantz. Now Gantz is just it's a wild ride, honestly. Like, this was probably one of the first quote-unquote shocking seinen that I ever got into, and it just blew me away. I didn't realize how crazy it could be, like how crazy anime and manga could be, and this just was like such a wild introduction into that world. And you know, I think it still holds up very, very well now. It's been a while since I first got into the series, but this kind of, you know, gave rise and inspiration to a lot of other great series like this. In particular, one is called Jagan, that is not out in English and is probably one of my favorite mangas of all time. This is the big daddy of that genre and style. Like I mentioned, the singles are extremely difficult to find and collect for. Hopefully you don't have to go down that route. If not, honestly, go for the omnibuses. Me personally, I'm gonna get the Spanish editions called Maximum Gans, that are like these big omnibuses. They're pretty expensive, but you know, for me, I love Gantz and I think they're totally worth it. So I will be going with those instead. So if you speak Spanish, definitely go check those out. As far as like what this is about, this is like a sci-fi horror, and it's like a thriller. It's just insane. I don't want to spoil anything beyond that, because it can be like pretty it's a lot of fun if you go in not knowing a lot. So aside from that, if it sounds up your alley, you know, definitely try to go into it fresh. It's brutal. That's all you need to know about it, with beautiful, crazy art. Definitely recommend it. Check it out. Gantz. Is it Gantz or Gantz? I always say Gantz, but for whatever reason, I'm trying to pronounce stuff a little bit more proper. Thanks to everybody grilling me in the comments. Thank you, everybody who does that. Okay, so coming in at number 6, we have Blade of the Immortal. So this is a historical samurai manga that is honestly a classic in the West. It's one of the very first mangas that came out here, and as a result is forever eternally damned to be left to right, because the amount of work that went into getting this over here, they were like, you know, we need this in the comic style. People are not going to be able to read from right to left, and they put so much work into it that even apparently, from what I understand, the mangaka even redrew a lot of the panels. Like Samura actually was like, I'm gonna redraw this page so it fits the like left to right, which is crazy. And as a result, even the deluxe editions are in that format, which is the much larger, more beautiful edition. This is just the normal omnibus. There's also singles. Honestly, if you want to take a look at the different editions, go check out Anime Collective's video. I think she kind of breaks down all the different editions of Blade of the Immortal. But yeah, these are the standard omnibus. Like I said, this is a historical samurai manga that has such a unique art style. I really, really love Sumura's art style. It is phenomenal. His paneling and all that stuff is fantastic, and the story is very like gruesome and brutal. Like, you know, there's a lot of like supernatural aspects to this that, you know, is not really for a samurai. It's a unique samurai story is basically what I'm getting at, and this is what I really enjoy about Blade of the Immortal. It's not afraid to explore these like dark and more fantastic themes. Anyways, if that sounds like something that you are interested in, definitely go scope it out. These should be pretty in stock from what I'm aware of. Shouldn't be difficult to find. If not, go get the deluxe editions. Those are fantastic. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is going to be, I mean, for me, it's extremely special, and it's special for a lot of people. It could have easily been number 1. It's got beautiful artwork. It's historical, and historical in a very, very beautiful way. You already know what it is, baby. Vinland Saga. Now, Vinland Saga, like I said, it's a historical manga with beautiful art and just a beautiful, beautiful message. The prologue arc is one of the best arcs ever, if not my number 1 arc in all of manga, honestly. Like, there's a lot of good shit out there, but prologue, dude, it just hit different. And yeah, Vinland Saga comes in these amazing little hardcovers. It's the only way to collect it as far as I'm aware, and they're typically always in stock, so you're not going to run into any issues having to hunt them down, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, Vinland Saga, definitely go check this out. Go check it out. All right, number 4 is another one that should not be a surprise to anybody, and is also a samurai historical manga by a great mangaka named Inoue, and that is Vagabond. What can I say about this, man? Like, even if you're not into historical stuff, this is like the one historical manga that you probably would get behind if you're not super into it. The artwork, like I said, is phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's a classic. Everybody loves this. You cannot go wrong with this. Like, sometimes I feel like I can't really recommend Goodnight Poon Poon and Berserk, but Vagabond, I feel like I could always recommend it. I mean, this is probably the first manga that I ever got into. But yeah, I used to go to Barnes and Noble and just read through Vagabond through there, and I'll just sit there. It's fantastic, man. It's what got me into manga essentially, and you just can't go wrong with it, you know? So definitely go scope out the Vizbigs. Don't overpay for those. Those are always going to be restocked as far as I'm aware, unless they come out with some new hardcover edition, which I don't think is ever going to happen. Dark Horse doesn't really do that. If you're crazy, go for the singles as well. They're very, very high quality. You cannot go wrong with the singles as well if you really, really got to have the singles. But if you speak Spanish, check out, you know, these Spanish singles. These are fantastic as well. They're a little bit smaller, but the paper quality is a little bit better than the Dark Horse paper quality, which is already excellent. So, you know, something to consider to those of you who collect in Spanish as well. Anyways, Vagabond, baby. Vagabond. Let's go. This one's a good one, man. This is like, could potentially have been my #1 pick for this. And it is Dorohedoro by Kyu Hayashida. What an incredible manga, honestly. Like, this is just super, super fantastic. The art style is amazing. It's very particular and very unique. The storytelling is also just well paced. There's a lot of action. It's set in a very, very unique world, and there's just so many things that it gets right that just becomes this like awesome ride all the way through. The comedy is so hilarious too. Like, it's can be so dark yet so funny. I think that's, to me, is just a work of art when it all comes together. And yeah, Dorohedoro is a classic. I mean, the art style itself is probably gonna be the first thing that you notice about this series. It's very grungy. Like, it has like, it literally feels like Tim Burton on acid or something, you know? It's really wild. It's honestly better than Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton stuff, but this is like this is just like a work of art, honestly. But yeah, Dorohedoro, definitely check this out. I believe I believe a lot of these are out of stock, but this is going to be forever reprinted. It's an awesome edition by Viz. It's got little French folds. It feels very high quality, perfect size. The ink is fantastic. Can't go wrong with these. Love these editions, honestly. And yeah, Dorohedoro, check it out. All right, this next one is gonna be multiple series by a particular mangaka, because he's really that good of a writer and artist, to be honest with you. And it's one that I think many people start off having in their collections, and for damn good reason. Probably for bad reason, because honestly, like, it's pretty downhill from there once you get into this mangaka. Just kidding. No, but really, like, he is just a brilliant. He blows me away every time I read one of his works and start. I'm just like, such a fantastic writer. And it's Urasawa, baby. Let's go. You got your monsters, and you got your 20th Century Boys. I mean, these are the big hitters. It really comes down to preference as to which one you like more. I think I like Monster a little bit more. Monster is kind of like a mystery and thriller. I mean, these are all mystery thrillers, but this one's a little bit more set in, how can I say? It's like a detective one almost, you know? It's a little bit different. This one's also has a lot of like detective type stuff work, but it's kind of like, in a way, almost like more cinematic, and has like a bigger overall like I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but I think you can't go wrong with any of these. Honestly, a lot of these are unfortunately, you know, going in and out of stock for several months, but as far as I'm aware, you know, these are gonna forever be restocked. It's Urasawa. He's a fantastic writer, a fantastic artist. He has several other works out, one of them being Pluto, which he co-authored with another writer, and that one might be my favorite one by him, even though it's technically co-authored. It's essentially his take on Astro Boy. It's freaking good, man. It's so good. I love Pluto so much. Anyways, anything by Urasawa is a blind buy, in my opinion. You can't go wrong with any of them. Definitely go check them out. Okay, so before we get to my #1 pick, which I think might surprise some of you, or it's probably one that you might not expect, but we are going to get into some honorable mentions. Now, like I mentioned earlier, these are titles that I think not everybody can get into, but those who can get behind them are going to just love the hell out of them, in my opinion. So, you know, take them with like, so, you know, before you go in and decide to collect these, be wary of that, and, you know, do your due diligence. Regardless, I recommend these, honestly. First honorable mention is Emanon, and this is one that is incomplete currently, but the art and the storytelling is so unique and just such a wonderful read. I only read this recently and was honestly very, very blown away by it. It's one that, you know, you read one volume and you want to read the next one immediately. So to me, that's one that leaves always an impression on me. And I don't want to spoil anything, so kind of just, you know, check out the first volume, check out the first couple chapters, see if you like it, pick them up. They recently got restocked, so you shouldn't have any trouble looking for this series. But yeah, Eminon, that's the first honorable mention. Gotta throw this on here. Then we got one that I honestly was gonna put in my top 10, but it was just like, I know a lot of people are not gonna like it, and it's Devilman by Go Nagai. Like, I just love this manga so much. Like, I just want to get like a Devilman tattoo and stuff. Like, I just really, really love this. You know, something that I only recently read. It's an old school manga, so that should just tell you like how good this is. Like, I didn't even grow up in this era. I grew up in the 90s, and this is, even for me in the 90s, I would look at this style and be like, ugh, like, that's old. But it still got me, dude. Like, that's how awesome this is. It's classic Devilman. You probably heard me talk about it in Prom G's video. Out of all the honorable mentions, this is my top pick. I mean, this changed the world of manga. Like, we wouldn't have Berserk if it wasn't for Devilman and all these other series. Go Naga is a genius. Anyways, Devilman, check them out in these classic editions, hardcovers. It's only 2 volumes, and you can typically find good deals on these. I love these classic editions by 7 Seas. Shouts out 7 Seas. Love you guys. Yeah, go and scoop these up, honestly. All right, the last honorable mention is one that is my personal favorite out of all of these, but not one that I could comfortably recommend to everybody. It's definitely an acquired taste. The art style is very weird, even weirder than, you know, Devilman, which is just an old series. This was one that was in the 90s and is one that, just like Devilman, changed the genre, inspired so many other manga out there for years to come. You know, we wouldn't have Squid Game if it wasn't for this manga. Like, honestly, like, to the point that I think Squid Game ripped off this series, and it is Kaiji. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know I don't shut the fuck up about this manga, and it's because it's just so awesome. I love it. There are multiple parts to this, so it's a very, very long series, and I have to applaud Denpa for taking on the challenge of putting this out there. Dude, like, not even France has Kaiji. France has everything, but they have not had the wherewithal to get Kaiji. Like, that's crazy to me. So Denpa is like insane for that, honestly. Fukumoto is probably my #1 mangaka, top 2 if not top 2, dude. It's hard to say. The art style, like I said, is very particular. It's very unique. Not a lot of people can get behind it. I hated it when I first saw it, but once you get into it and once it kind of captures your emotions, that's when you kind of, it starts to click and you realize, I don't want it any other way. Definitely go into this realizing this is an older manga, but yeah, Kaiji is fantastic. It's like a gambling manga that kind of goes into like human nature and stuff, but in such a great way. Like I said, if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have Squid Game. But if you love it, welcome to the annoying fandom. I mean, Kaiji fans are definitely not that annoying. Like, I feel like Kaiji in English has such a little community that it's very hard to gauge whether they're annoying or not. Yeah, they're probably one of my favorite communities on Twitter specifically. Like, everybody that loves Kaiji there is just like, these guys are chill. But yeah, anyways, Fukumoto is a fantastic manga. Definitely go check out anything by him. And if this sounds like something that's interesting to you, definitely go get it by Denpa. Definitely go check it out. All right. We are down to #1. And I got to say, this is probably my favorite out of all of these on here. Aside from like Poon Poon and Berserk, of course. For whatever reason, it hit all of the things that I like in such a great fashion that it's my #1 pick. Blam by Tsutomu Nihei. But yeah, Nihei to me is like a freaking genius. This is a sci-fi horror. I guess it's horror. I'm not sure. There's a lot of horror elements in this, but damn, dude, like the atmosphere, the atmo is freaking amazing in this. The art style is very unique, and just the landscapes, dude. It's so good, dude. The world building is fantastic as well. I just really love Blom, man. And you know, it's one that if you're not really into sci-fi, you might not be able to get behind it. Maybe like it might be a little bit like weird to you, maybe. I don't know, but I don't hear a lot of people kind of like really gassing this up. But for me, it's fantastic. I know it's PewDiePie's #1 manga, and he gets it. These awesome additions by Vertical Comics, like, God bless them, dude. Like, this is a fantastic way to experience this, especially the large landscapes. Like, let's go, dude. Nevertheless, Blom is #1. It's one of my personal favorites, and I strongly recommend it. There's also the old Tokyo Pop singles, which I only recently started to collect, just as a big fan of Blom. These are extremely difficult to look for, but you know, if you're a psycho collector like me, you might want to consider looking into this. Although, don't do it because I'm trying to collect it right now. Anyways, guys, that is my top 10 seinen manga to collect. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I kind of changed up the order a little bit weirdly. I added Berserk and Goodnight Pum Pum to the very bottom, just because, I mean, those are a staple on any top 10 seinen. So nevertheless, I hope you also enjoyed the honorable mentions in there. I think that's something that some of you guys who have probably already been collecting for a while, those are titles that probably going to be more catered to you guys. I imagine a lot of you already have a lot of these on these lists, but you know, this is something that I wanted to make for anybody who's first starting to collect, something that they can go out to the stores and find very easily, not have a hard time looking for it, and something that they're going to have in their collection for a long time. It's built great, they're beautiful editions, and it's something that you can reread for years and years to come. As far as channel updates go, I have been lacking it on videos as of lately. I do apologize. It's been a struggle to put out videos at the moment. Same thing with streaming, which I do plan to stream again very soon. I'm still trying to figure out my gaming setup. It's a little bit difficult. Nonetheless, check me out on Twitch. I do unboxings and manga shoppings, but also a lot of gaming as well. Link is in the description. Also, we are finally opening up the manga club, book club in our Discord server. There's already a ton of people joining in. We have like over 40 people joining in on the book club. If you want to get in on that, go ahead and join and submit your suggestions. If you want to see how the rules go, it'll all be explained in the server on the book club channel. Also, another server update. I'm finally doing another giveaway. I did one almost I don't even know how many months ago. It's been a long time, but we finally hit a milestone on the server, and I thought it would be a great way to give back. We hit level 3 on there. I don't even know how it was possible, but we're probably not going to be level 3 for very long. Nonetheless, I did want to give back to you guys. Maybe do some Nitro giveaways, also some gift card giveaways so you guys can buy some manga. Nonetheless, did want to thank you guys so much for supporting me up until this point. Like I mentioned, it's been a struggle getting videos out and trying to get back on the algorithm. But if you're watching this video, you a real one, and God bless you. You guys are awesome. Especially in this situation, it's hard to keep going when, stuff has slowed down. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.